Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Dr. Edifons Musafiri, Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Gian Christopher Ngabitinsizi, Honorable Minister of Local Government, Mr. Jean-Claude Musabeyamana, Honorable Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Abdullah Utumanshuama, Dr. Agnes Kalibata, the President of AGRA, distinguished partners, youth and agriculture, AGRA staff, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the board, management and the staff of AGRA, we are glad to welcome you today to launch the Rwanda Strategic Plan for 2023-2027. Across the country, whether you are in Nyangatare or Rusuzizi, there are signs of progress in Rwanda's agriculture sector, and AGRA is pleased to be part of this journey towards food systems transformation in Rwanda. We wish to thank the government of Rwanda for the support accorded to us over the years, the private sector that worked with us to bring up technologies or disseminate them, research institutions that keeps us ahead in terms of ensuring we are not left behind, innovating new technologies, and Rwandan farmers for increasingly adopting those technologies, and cooperatives and businesses for commercializing the products, and financial institutions for availing the finances. Together, we have taken concrete steps to improve the competitiveness of Rwanda's agri-food industries in line with the country's 2050 vision, and AGRA remains committed in playing its role to ensure agriculture and agribusiness as a path for wealth creation in one of the levels used to propel Rwanda to the upper middle income status by 2035 as a government plan, and high income status by 2050, along with transforming all productive sectors. Since 2006, AGRA has invested about 20 million in Rwanda to build the capacity of government and private sector involvement in seed production and distribution. The program trained and mentored government institutions such as Rwanda Agriculture Board, Rwanda Inspection and Consumer Protection Agency, seed companies, institutions of higher learning such as the University of Rwanda, and strengthened local markets by increasing the supply of grain quality to off-takers involved in human and animal foods that are free from aflatoxin. To date, we have worked with various actors to reach over 1 million farmers with improved seed varieties, fertilizer, and lime using technology and digital solutions. We have invested significantly in enhancing policy and state capability for the Ministry of Agriculture and its implementing agency, RAB, and have facilitated public-private dialogues that resulted in signing of the MOU between the Ministry of Agriculture and the private sector to liberalize the seed production, distribution, and marketing. We take great pride in these achievements. It is a testament to what's possible when we all work together. It's also a testament to our shared commitment to the sustainable transformation of agriculture in Rwanda. There is still room to do more. We simply cannot stop forging forward. Today, with the launch of this new strategy, we reaffirm our resolve to continue transforming food systems in Rwanda to make them more resilient and sustainable. For AGRA's new strategy in Rwanda, the overall goal is to strengthen agricultural small and medium enterprises' competitiveness by joining hands with other players to ensure there is adequate access to support services, affordable finance, and markets to expand, that increasing their capacity and ability to serve smallholder farmers. There is a reason why Rwanda's strategic plan for agriculture transformation outlines the policy framework to transform agriculture into a knowledge-based, value-creating sector. The government strategy recognizes that agriculture growth must be driven by the private sector with the government as enabler. When I say private sector, I mean smallholder farmers as well. For us to make progress in this sector, we intend to invest in bringing together and supporting a coordination of actors involved in building capacity of farmers, policymakers, regulators, service providers, off-takers, and financial institutions using proven tools and delivery models that provide sufficient knowledge to support all players along the agri-food value chain make informed decisions. Agriculture is not a business of only agricultural ministry. It has become a business of all ministries at this time. It is a business, and we have to make sure that this cooperation and coordination exists. We will also invest in removing binding constraints that cause Rwandan youth, especially women, to shy away from agriculture by working with policymakers, vendors of agriculture machinery, markets, and trade experts to modernize agriculture in ways that attracts a significant number of our unemployed youth to the agri-food sector as a driving and fulfilling career option. Honorable ministers, distinguished guests, AGRA is here to play its role as we all work together to keep the momentum going. And I'm here to commend our good work and encourage you to keep going. Let's keep unleashing growth that will transform Rwanda's agriculture. I thank you, and God bless you all.
AGRA Corporate, not only Rwanda, has made a choice to drive interventions through 4 business lines. The first one, which we also prioritize in Rwanda, is strengthening inclusive finance, market, and trade, making sure that finance is affordable, is reachable, and I'm so pleased to see my sister Pichet here of BRD, because she shared the passion, and we'll make sure we support the ministries and others to deliver on that. I'm so pleased to see the Minister of Trade, who even beyond Rwanda is championing as an African strategy on making sure agri-food products are the first on ACFTA highway. So we will invest there, and as said, we will catalyze, we will support, and we will make sure what we build is resilient. The second business line we'll get into is to make sure we build a strong and resilient seed system. Everything starts from seed, be it human, be it a country, be it, we want to get a robust and resistant seed system where new varieties are created and they are improved to fit the changing conditions and changing needs of our country. And once seeds are available, we will also continue to seriously invest in sustainable farming, especially with the changing environment where climate change has become a reality. We'll make sure the agriculture production is done in a way that is adaptable and mitigating climate change. And finally, we will continue to be intentional about ensuring policies are driving what we are doing by working with different various government institutions to formulate and implement policies that are conducive to making business affordable and attractive to investment in Rwanda.
Your Excellency, Haile Mariam Desalegn, former Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Ethiopia and AGRA Board Chair, Excellency First Lady, honorable ministers here present, dear Agnes Karibata, President of AGRA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. For people who are familiar with me, they can see that I'm very excited to be here and to be part of this new chapter of AGRA in Rwanda as we launch the next 5-year strategy. It is not often that you come across an institution that has a former head of state as chair, run by a former minister of agriculture, and populated by a wide range of multi-sectoral experts in the agri-food system. So everybody has the reason to be excited because we are in a very important place. So Minagri, or the Minister of Agriculture, is also in its journey to develop its new edition of the strategy plan for agricultural transformation. And this is the PSTA 5, where we ensure a close alignment of priorities between the ministries and AGRA strategies. Among the synergies of this nature, we contribute significantly to the realization of the country's vision on food systems. I understand that AGRA's primary focus, as they have been seen the launch of strategy, is to strengthen the competitiveness of SMEs, particularly those led by youth and women involved in agricultural food systems. This focus is also shared by the ministry, where we know that the youth unemployment rate is currently at 20%. Also, in the Ministry of Agriculture, we have set our key priorities, including increasing agricultural productivity, speeding up irrigation, make sure we do the proper post-harvest management, but also we involve more youth in agribusiness and agri-food systems. This being said, I want to inform that at the heart of the country's priorities is the imperative to build our resilience on climate change through the development of irrigation schemes, of which we have apportioned almost 47% of the total budget allocated to the irrigation sector, agriculture sector, in this fiscal year 2023-2024. More investment in large-scale farming, large-scale irrigation technologies are therefore needed to bridge the irrigation gap. One of the goals of the past PSTA 4 is to increase our total irrigated land to 102,000 hectares by 2024, and we have so far achieved 66% of the targeted irrigated land. Moreover, we are also prioritizing the seed systems, which is also AGRA is supporting in order to increase the national average crop yield. We do not want to simplify the process, but we want to do quality seed. So this also, we want to satisfy domestic seed needs. We have an ambitious goal to see Rwanda seed being traded beyond the borders. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also actively seeking a robust collaborations with the financial institutions here present and those who are not present in the country and across the continent in order to provide a cost-effective financing for the stakeholders within our agriculture ecosystems. This will grow the agricultural lending from 4.8% that we are standing today as a country to 10% for the forthcoming 5-year period. I want to reiterate that the strategic plan for agricultural transformation is designed to be private sector led. So, and the private sector should take their lead in food system growth. For this reason, I count on AGRA and all stakeholders who are in the room who have in their portfolio the agriculture mandate. And this, I want them to enhance commercial viabilities of our agribusiness actors by actively engaging capacity building of agri SMEs to support them in improving their standard and by connecting them to a viable market. So ladies and gentlemen, to close, I would like to really thank AGRA, really to reiterate my gratitude to AGRA as a reliable partner. So by reliable partner, maybe you should understand maybe what I mean, because Maybe when I was reading some stories somewhere, and I heard something that happened in the battle between Israel and some of the neighboring tribes. That was called the Amalek. And this happened in the time of Moses. And sometimes when they ordered a battle, and I heard that Moses and some two men went to the top of the mountain to see how the battle was taking place. But then there may be sometimes Moses was playing and raising his hand up. It turns like some kind of experiment happened, as long as when Moses was raising his hand, Israel was winning. And then, but whenever he lowers his hand, so the Israel was losing. So then they realized now it's becoming tough, and he decided to keep raising his hand so that the Israel keep winning the enemy. Unfortunately, sometimes Moses got tired. And when he got tired, I was reading that they got a stone, then he was sitting, and two men who were with him, Aaron and someone called Hur, they took his arms. So one take the left, another take the right one, so that the arms kept up, so that the Israel keep winning. So he sat on this, and Aaron and Hur help up his hand, and one of each side. So his hands remained steady until the sun went down. So, and this is how the Israel ended up defeating this enemy. Then I'm saying this because when I talk about the right partner, I think AGRA, as good partner as well, they know our battle as the Ministry of Agriculture. So we are striving toward the food security, we are thriving toward the food system transformation, and we need someone to keep our hands, our arms steady so that we keep fighting. So I can see on one hand AGRA as a strategy, but also on the other hand, the partners in the room, the people. So the strategy, but there's also the people. So then we hope AGRA will keep helping us until we achieve our productivity per hectare as we wish. I hope AGRA will keep, and you will keep around the ministry to make sure that our food systems are transformed. I wish and I hope that you partners will stay with us until our youth are fully included in agri-food systems. And I wish you will stay with us until the food security of the country is achieved. As the Minister of Agriculture, I also pledge that our continued commitment to working in close collaboration with AGRA, we will actively support your ambitious and noble goals of ensuring that at least 1.5 million small-scale producers have and maintain access to competitive markets and new technologies, and the addition of 132,000 dignified jobs to our youth labor market in next 5 years. I thank you for your kind attention, and thank you for this opportunity.
Your Excellency Haile Mariam, the Chair of the Board of AGRA, Your Excellency, former First Lady of Ethiopia, Excellency Ministers, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, it's very difficult to follow this speech and your stories, but I'm going to try. I wanted to start a story of my own, but really this is not a story because it's real. When I was working in the Ministry of Agriculture, how many of you knew about AGRA? But it did exist actually. AGRA was spending about $1 million in 5 years in the agriculture sector. At the time I was in the ministry. And it was one of those institutions, it's like, okay, if they're around, they're around. If they're not around, we don't miss them. In the last 5 years, we upped our game. We spent $10 million or so. Still, nothing to write home about, but we did something really significant because we were extremely deliberate around how that $10 million would deliver. We focused on the seed sector. Today we are talking about $50 million. I really want you to appreciate the growth. But I don't want to take credit. Don't think that that's happening because it's Agnes who is working at AGRA. The credit goes to JP here, our country manager, to the whole team at AGRA and to JJ. You know, AGRA has this strategy where we ensure that we build on the best in each country. So JP and JJ are providing. Incidentally, they are all JJs, JJ, but that's it. So JP and JJ are providing the leadership from a Rwandan perspective, and we're extremely grateful to the support. We do, as an institution, believe in the power of the African capacities that we do have. We have built an institution, really referring to what our colleague from MasterCard Foundation was saying. We have built an institution that recognizes local capacity. We have built an institution whose sole objective is to build the strength of local institutions and local capacity. So we are extremely proud that we do have partners that do share that vision and that dream. In our last strategy where we focused on seed, we did get support from USAID. Again, through a shared vision, we were able to implement the seed system. USAID was building on other partners like BMGF, who has been a strong believer in how African institutions can advance their own growth. We don't do things as AGRA. That's when we say we work through partners, that's because we don't believe that our job is to deliver transformation for anyone. Our job is to empower local institutions. Local SMEs, local ministries, and local NGOs, but also institutions whose mandate it is to deliver the transformation we want. So AGRA actually is a collection of African people from across 22 nationalities today, I think, and counting, and all these are experts in agriculture that we build on. So the AGRA strategy in Rwanda is not delivered by JP and JJ alone. They draw on those people that come from over 22 nationalities. You've seen Sabdio here, she's Kenyan. You've seen a number of other people here from all sorts of nationalities that bring the African capacity together. So we hope that with this, we can build local capacities in individual countries. We also go further than that. We tap into African leadership. You will see that on our board, we have a number of leaders, African leaders, starting with His Excellency Haile Mariam. You would know, if you followed, that His Excellency, while he was leading Ethiopia, the growth of the agricultural sector never went below the 6% required from CADAP. The investment in the sector never went below 15% of budget, because he did understand that was very critical for an agricultural economy. So we draw on his capacity, his ability, and his leadership. And many other leaders on our continent look up to him, and that is extremely important to us. So we don't believe that Africa doesn't have the capacity. We do believe that Africa has the capacity. We need to bring it together the right way. So the narrative that we don't have capacity is not right, and we don't agree, and we don't accept it. I also wanted to mention that we build on strong partners. We've been able to move from 10 million here in Rwanda to 50 million, not because we have amazing resource envelopes, but because we have amazing partners. MasterCard Foundation, as a new partner that believes in the growth of the youth and creating opportunities for youth, is a critical partner that believes in Rwanda, and we are building on that effort. And they see the opportunity to partner with AGRA to take that to the next level. And we are very proud that this partnership is actually giving us the opportunity to deliver for the continent, and specifically to deliver for Rwanda. We also definitely do get resources from other partners. I really want to make sure that people understand that AGRA is not a donor. AGRA is a resource, a capacity building institution that is delegated to use donor resources. So we have delegated authority to use donor resources, but we are not really a donor. So never ever look at AGRA as a donor. It's an African institution that completely believes in building African capacity and uses donor resources to do that. So I just wanted to make sure that we have that distinction right. So I wanted to conclude by thanking the Ministry of Agriculture that we have worked with very closely in developing our strategy, but also in the last strategy, and thanking all the ministers that are here today. We are moving into a food system perspective. And it was very intentional to ask you all ministers to come and join us in this launch of this strategy, because as we go forward, we need to think about what's happening at the farm, but also what's happening at the table. If we don't bring this perspective together, we really will have serious challenges. If we also don't think about the environment that we use to grow the food, it becomes a challenge. If we don't think about the health of the people we feed, it's also a challenge, like was asked earlier. So we will move forward and work with the Ministry of Agriculture as they design their food system strategy, and we hope that you do join us and we do work together to ensure that we come at this problem together. So I look forward to the support from the Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Local Government, Ministry of Trade, and all the other ministries that are part of how we try to solve this problem. I also want to thank all the partners that are here. Like I said, we don't do the work ourselves, we deliver through partners. You do a good job, we do a good job. You don't do a good job, we don't do a good job. So I want to appreciate the efforts and the sacrifice, but also the intentionality that partners bring to this work. And our success in the next few years, in the next 5 years, will depend on how well our partners deliver, because our job is not to deliver. The agriculture sector will be delivered by Rwandans and the Rwandan Ministry of Agriculture. And you are here in this room, and our job is to keep nudging this forward, to give you the support we are picking from different places, the knowledge we are learning from other places, and the capacities we put together. So I thank you again for being part of the launch of this strategy, and I look forward to working with you all in the next 5 years.